stage here in New York.
Yes, thank you very much, Alex. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the grand final of ESL One New York. Our first team are already multiple champions, a absolutely iconic team in esports and Counter-Strike over the last 15 years. They're multiple champions in 1.6, of course. Runners-up this year at the Major. Underestimate them at your yellow peril. They are NaVi! Okay, we have one of our finalists on stage. Time to introduce to our second, and their opponents. Also a legendary and iconic name in esports and Counter-Strike. They are the informed team in Counter-Strike right now, with 2 titles in the last 2 weeks. Can they make it 3 out of 3? Let's find out as we introduce you to Virtus.Pro! We have both of our teams now, Virtus.Pro and NaVi, here on the stage. It is time to find out who the champion of ESL One will be as we enjoy the Eastern European El Clasico!
Is it?
El Clasico is exactly what we call this. NaVi and Virtus.Pro, 2 teams who have got such a fabled history and perhaps even future here in New York alone. Got to look forward to here. And now, gentlemen, we can get into the real meat of the analysis. I like that we walked through with just kind of the difference in the fact that we have got Simple joining that NaVi roster. That's been a storyline that we have, I don't want to say we've beat it to death, but we've definitely covered this new arrival.
Sure, yeah.
I do want to take a bit more of an external perspective to start things off, because we have seen Virtus.Pro, you know, infamous for not making any changes and solving their problems without doing so. NaVi, we saw the success they found with Zeus. Is it just because of the power of Simple that this makes sense? I mean, look at Virtus.Pro demonstrating that roster changes don't solve all the problems.
I don't, because the key thing about NaVi is because they had so much consistent success, so many finals, they really did wait and say, we're going to play this out, you know. If we keep making finals, we'll stick with it. Eventually, maybe we win. Then they saw they didn't. I mean, the key moment for me was after the Major, you saw them kind of break, and they even started tweeting themselves, oh, it's always like second, we never win. And it was multiple people saying this. So I think what happened is they realized correctly that actually they were only going to go down there. They weren't just going to maintain second place and never win. They probably were going to go top 4, top 8, as they were doing in these competitions. Sure. So I think they realized something has to change anyway. The one thing we could do is like a blockbuster move to change everything is bring in this guy who's just beaten us, very, very talented player. And so even though it meant, yeah, potentially you upset the whole apple cart, if it goes right though, if it worked out. I mean, you're thinking of it, you win events like this, you win the majors. This is what they've all been waiting for. So I think the gamble was worth it, whether it works or not.
Yeah, but it's also safe to assume that it was by no means, a drop of the hat decision. This must have been something that was thought out for a great deal of time to lose Zeus and to bring in Simple.
I mean, definitely so. You don't make decisions like that in the heat of the moment, but when you compare other rosters to VP, you need to realize how incredibly much of mental fortitude you need to be able to keep the same roster for 3 years. And I think that stems mostly from Taz, Neo, and Pasha, seeing as how they are, I mean, also older guys, so obviously more mature. So they understand that it's not always the roster. Even notoriously, when they were playing in 1.6, they rarely made roster changes, right?
Yep.
So they kind of brought Snacks and Gali into that system to believe in it. And you also need to understand, Poland is not a Denmark of CS. They don't have that much new talent coming up. So maybe they, even at times when they were thinking of making a roster change, they said, well, none of the guys who we can pick up are actually better than the players we have, so let's try and work it out.
And you've mentioned already, Taz has been playing alongside Neo for over 10 years now. I saw a video recently where he stated, I will continue to play Counter-Strike until I stop having fun. He's still having fun. He's still on that grand final stage, and there is a lot to look forward to. You can see the passion in this man's eyes, perhaps not in the interviews, but when he's got that mouse and keyboard in his hand. Gents, I want to start and get the vetoes done and dusted so we know how the battlefield will look as we do delve deeper into this one. So Duncan, take it away.
Okay, so I mean, we start here with Dust 2. He's the classic VP ban. It's basically been their ban for a long, long time. Sure. It's one that's an obvious one here. Also, you take into account, I mean, we saw Dust 2 earlier, NaVi playing it. We know they're certainly capable on that map. That was a map that Simple went crazy on, so you're never going to change it up, and VP never changed their permaban in general. Now, in terms of the NaVi guys, even though their lineups changed in terms of the style of play, they still don't want Cash, they still don't want Nuke. These are the obvious maps. I expect it to just be a straight-up Cash ban here. They didn't want to risk it. I mean, funnily enough, if they really did, they could risk it here. VP aren't necessarily going to pick it. I think VP would go more towards something like a Mirage, something along these lines. Now, since it's VP's pick here, historically, I would say VP, well, they're most comfortable on Train, right? It's got to be. I mean, this is the map that they've already played on, right? And we've seen NaVi's looking pretty good on Train.
Do you think after the showing in the semifinals, maybe VP goes for a Nuke pick here?
Ooh. That would be very ballsy, right? I mean, here's the thing. If they do that, that is pure mind games. I mean, people are going to say, yeah, but they had all the smokes and all the rest of that stuff. Yeah, they've only played it once. So, okay, interestingly, VP goes with the Cobble pick now. That makes some sense. First of all, Liquid smashed the guys from NaVi on that map. That was the map that wasn't that close, especially when you consider NaVi got that T-half start and they had nothing, basically. So VP are fantastic on Cobble. I would say I actually have them as the best Cobble team at the moment. I saw what they did in the major, beating out SK, who's very good. They have an insane record. They've lost only maybe a couple out of the last 10 or so they've played. I think in terms of NaVi now, here's the crazy thing. For NaVi, it's surely going to be Mirage or Train, right? You think these two, they're classic wheelhouse maps for the guys from Virtus.Pro. I think logically, it actually, believe it or not, probably should be Train. I think that's probably the one that they should go with because, okay, Mirage is good, but are you confident you really play that after what you saw against SK earlier?
There's also, okay, they go for Train. I wanted to say there's a possibility of going for Overpass since they saw a lot of rounds being played out and maybe they have a plan against it.
The thing is, I think at this point, now we're going to see VP do an Overpass ban, and we're going to see a ban from NaVi. They're going to do the Nuke ban. I think when they get Mirage as the third map. So I actually think this will be a great series.
I think this is also where VP actually gets to pick the map because they know NaVi now has to ban Nuke. So basically with their ban, they're deciding whether they want to play Mirage or Overpass.
It's like they're skipped over. So like we see, Overpass. So now, there's no universe, I'm telling you right now, in which NaVi is now going to ban Mirage and let Nuke come through. Well, let's see if they prove me wrong. What do you know? That? So we got to Mirage in the end. Now, the funny thing about this is, if we skip back 3 months, I would actually say this is a fantastic start. Every map here could be either team winning. But at the moment, the interesting thing is, VP are the ones who are going to be very confident in this draw because they feel like they can win every map. NaVi, I don't think NaVi even believe entirely in their Cobble. So for NaVi, getting that Train win is a must, especially because they're going to start on Cobblestone. So I don't think they're going to be thinking they're going to win map 1.
And another big tell of their Cobble being shaky is also that they decide to pick the CT side. Obviously, VP picking the map, they get to pick the side, so you pick the CT side, which now it was never known for. It was always up to Guardian to get them like 3 or 4 rounds on the CT side. Then with their amazing T side play, they get over the hump.
Well, the funny thing is, they sometimes used to pick CT before, but just knowing that they were going to get all the T rounds. It's almost like they wanted to know, how many do I need? Do I need 10? Do I need 11?
Yeah,
so they knew how to play it, you know. I don't think they've done it for that reason this time. I actually think they hope we just get rolling a CT. Like I told you, NaVi at the moment is a CT-sided team. They want to get Simple rolling or Guardian rolling. They want just like individual play to win out the day. Meanwhile, VP, this is why it's going to be a great matchup. They're all about the T side. I mean, we saw it on Nuke. That's where VP earns their money, is like great T sides, grinding out rounds when they're against great defenses. So I think if we can have a great defense from NaVi, maybe then we see a great Cobblestone.
It's intriguing, actually, yeah. You know, if you reflect upon the two different ways and routes that these teams got here, we talked about Virtus.Pro and the fact that it was a complete combined team effort versus SK. You know, every single member was firing on all fronts, and then you reflect upon NaVi, and we were just saying, Flamey is a god, 40 bomb in regulation. You know, like there's a definitely stark contrast between how both of these teams did get to the grand final.
I mean, it was individual styles, right? It's Flamey on one map,
Yes.
it's Simple on the other. Here's a little detail to note, though, that's interesting, is I've never seen Simple play in a huge final and have a really good game, actually. At ESL One Cologne, he kind of wilted a little bit in that final. So I'm actually going to call him out here. It's his birthday today. He played very well earlier on today. I know he's one of the best players in the world, but can he actually go head-to-head with a veteran team and be the best player in the server?
Now, yes, you've said Simple hasn't had a great time in grand finals. How about NaVi? I mean, is there no stranger to grand finals? But how about finding wins there?
This is how sick this is. So VP has basically only been in 2 finals, won them both, closed them both, great job. Meanwhile, you go over to the NaVi side of things. This year, this is their 7th final, and they only won 1 of the 7. And the one that they won was the smallest in terms of prize money, prestige, opponent in the final. I mean, they played Astralis in the final, by the way, so no offense to Astralis, but I'd rather play Astralis in the final than your Fanatics, SK, Luminous, you know. I think that here's the difference, okay? NaVi, just as they were earlier in the year, maybe they're the more talented team. Maybe they're the team who should win this tournament, but they don't win in these situations. They have to get over that hump themselves. VP, on the other hand, they're like, if you give us an opportunity, we will close the deal.
That is actually perfect. Just explain the two different mindsets perhaps coming into New York in this grand final. A lot on the line for both. Yanko, while these replays do run, just some closing thoughts and even start talking predictions here for the first map, Cobblestone.
Cobble is very, very interesting as a map. You need to remember what, you know, kind of a beating Simple gave to NaVi at the previous major when he played. So there's always that X-factor potential when you have such strong individual players. Another thing is that we saw VP kind of struggle with the drop zone in their own game on Cobblestone, right? That's an incremental part of the map. So if NaVi did their preparation, I didn't like their T side. They were going for a lot of defaults being spread around, but they were getting decimated by especially Pimp towards those A holes with the AWP, and that's something similar that Snack is going to go for, I feel like. So for this to be a close game, NaVi has to have a strong CT side, which is extremely hard to pull off against a team like VP, but they have to find a way to do it.
I'm not sure if they will. It seems like the desk, Yanko as a lead made it clear that...
For Cobble, I'm going with VP here for sure. It's not a map that this new NaVi lineup is still comfortable with.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the known quantity is certainly that T-side of VP, and so until they show me they can stop that, I have to say that it's going to be VP winning the map. Like, I do think that's where Simple, just as an individual, can have a huge difference, because you think of when he beat NaVi when he was in Team Liquid, you think even of the odd round when he was against Team Liquid in this tournament, if he can get that AWP rolling on that B plat, that's where he can really stop the rushes, because if you let Virtus.Pro out there with their smokes, you're not going to win these rounds. First, not only are they good at taking sites, they're one of the best teams we have at clutch rounds.
It may be Simple's birthday, but NaVi have gifted the T side of Cobble over to the boys from Virtus.Pro. It does seem like our desk is leaning towards the polls in the first one. That only does also hint at a very promising grand final. It's going to be spectacular, there's no doubt about it. Boys, are we going to see 3 maps? Are you feeling 3 map vibes?
I think we are, actually. I think even if VP wins this, I think we're going 3 no matter what. Because the difference is, if NaVi was to somehow magically win this, I know VP can still win Train potentially.
There you go. You heard it here from the mind himself. It is potentially going to be a grand final here in ESL One New York. We're finding out who will lift the trophy in just a moment's time, but first we take the break, and when we return, Cobblestone is about to go down. And a quick reminder.
ESL One New York is brought to you in part by Alienware, Microsoft, CyberPower PC, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, The Score Esports, and NVIDIA.
New York, New York, it's so good. Yes, they named it twice, and I already can't wait to come back next year because this tournament has been nothing short of amazing. There's been storylines, skepticism, Liquid goes on another run, Optic upsets, and we've got two legendary teams in the final.
Yeah, the Swiss format has delivered lots of interesting results there, and I can't wait for this Eastern European brawl coming in. It's going to be absolutely electrifying. The thing is, though, Virtus.Pro, they're used to closing out grand finals. NaVi, always a bridesmaid, never the bride. We're going to see whether they can actually step up here and maybe deliver some maps. The problem I have is opening up with Cobble. That's where they've struggled throughout this era with their new edition of Simple.
And dead right. Like Yanko said on the desk, and I think accurately so, there has been issues at the drop room, a very passive drop control from Virtus.Pro that they can exploit. But NaVi's never had a problem on their T side. It is the CT side, it is Guardian, and we talked about bringing in Simple. He's a little bit limited in his movement because now they have the op on the secondary site. He doesn't get to be quite as dynamic. And for Virtus.Pro, this is the thing. With NaVi, we came in, we doubted them after some poor performances 3 weeks ago at Kiev. Obviously, crashed out 0-2, changed the roles. Their incredible run in Pro League kind of falls a little bit short. Coming into this, I wasn't sure what to expect, and I think they've got thrown a lot of individualism. But the problem is you're going against one of the most structured, disciplined teams in that sense who breaks that down time and time again. And they got the monkey off the back of being the only team to take a map off of SK at the last two majors and finally beat them to be here.
I really do think NaVi get a struggle here in the first map. I just don't see them beating Virtus.Pro here, opening things up. We saw them against Liquid. They looked poor on that map. They couldn't really get going. Since Simple's joined, you pointed it up, he looks a little bit limited. I think they're forcing the double orbs a little bit too much. The ruthless playstyle from Virtus.Pro on the T side especially, just sticking together as a unit, taking over the middle area and long A together. They're so efficient at doing it. I feel like they'll be locking things down on the T side. That's what will be kicking things off as well. Going into train, this is where they've actually played all together already in this tournament. And NaVi did come out on top 69, but grand finals, that's when they seem to slip up historically. They can't really close out these huge tournaments, and this is where I'm a little bit worried for them. I think it'd be a great storyline to see this edition of Simple coming in and they finally win one of these massive tournaments, but right now I am feeling it's going to be a Virtus.Pro victory.
Well, it's tough to call because there's so many things on the line. Like you say, Simple back on North American soil. We know that he was adored, obviously. He was the enemy earlier when they did take down Liquid in the semi, but Virtus.Pro's always got good fanfare. I'm a little bit interested to see how that sixth man does play out. That said as well, maybe some storyline, something a little bit endearing for everyone to get behind. Simple's birthday. Maybe a curse to be broken?
Yeah, sure.
Is he finally coming of age? Is this hashtag new Simple for real now, Henry?
It could be. It could be, absolutely. This new team has seemed to have calmed him down a little bit. We haven't heard any crazy stories from him since he's joined the team. He seems like he's just reeled himself in, wants to concentrate on being a nice little professional there, and it seems to be coming together. And we've seen him at one tournament so far? We saw him at Starlight, right, and it crashed out there, but I'm feeling this is the one. This could be the chance for them to show what this team is potentially made of. A lot of people have been suggesting this could be the new #1 team in the world, and both of these guys have taken down SK in their path, the current #1 team, to get to this final. So how a fitting finish to the tournament it can be.
And there's no doubt about it. I think that there'll be some look into the ranking systems. I'm curious to see how, I mean, Thorns is based on form and what he feels is significant in certain matches, but I'm curious to see how the HLTV rankings might stack up after an event like this as well when the actual point structure comes in, because there's no doubt about it. The final three teams that were remaining, considering Liquid was the first semifinal, the final three teams are the three best teams in the world right now. And I think it's a grudge match in the current state of CSGO of which is the best. And if there's one team that's been the stable rock of all of them, considering the ups and downs, it's the team on screen right now. The longest standing roster in CSGO history, 37 months they've played together. Find me another team in esports that's ever done that. I mean, that's incredible in itself that they've been so successful, I should say, and the experience they have in these situations. Like Thorn said, 2 finals this year, very recently as well, E-League and then DreamHack Bucharest, and both of them they made quick work of it.
This is a great stat on the screen right now. 104 rounds in a semi-final. That you may start to think, oh, that means they're going to be really warmed up and they're going to be ready for this grand final. Actually, it could almost be in the opposite. When you have those semi-finals just before a big game like this and you've expended all the adrenaline you have available, it can be incredibly exhausting. It can take a lot out of the team. I think they've had a little break now. They've had time to recover, but still, it does take a lot out of them. So it could be an interesting factor going into this one. Maybe they won't be firing on all cylinders. Maybe the adrenaline has been dumped. It's definitely going to be working in NaVi's favor, I'd say. I think that's actually quite an interesting point to think about. 3 overtimes on that second map, and they gave us a really convincing map on Nuke as well. I thought they would have maybe sneaked that one in here. I thought they actually had an astonishing T-side on Nukes. We discussed it in the green room as well. Some stuff we haven't actually seen before, so I was interested to see whether that'd sneak in. But I think Cobble, that's the safe bet, and I do really see them actually running them over on this one, especially if they get the pistol, they get that first gun round going. NaVi historically don't normally get more than 5 rounds on a CD half, and it doesn't seem to have improved since Simple's joined as well. The double orb setup doesn't seem too convincing for me. As the guys sit down, now getting on the server as well.
And
there's interesting.
Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say that's the trophy they're playing for. It's just it's a famed trophy in esports. There's so much pride that goes into that alone.
Yeah, it's been an interesting 3 days here. Today, more so than ever, I think. We've seen some great performances. Liquid, we had to say goodbye to him. I think everyone in the crowd would have loved to have seen him here.
Undoubtedly. I mean, and let's talk about that. Like we said, there was skepticism coming in. The player break really did shake things up. Pimp, we've never really seen him implemented into this lineup, and it is proof. I can't remember who said it on the desk. It might have been Thorn, but there's proof that they can survive post-Simple era, and they've done an excellent job here. He himself as well played very well, and I know there's a lot of, it's big shoes to fill, a lot of pressure on him. They did extremely well. It's encouraging considering the performances that they've had. And on top of that, Optic as well. Came in, took the spot from Cloud9, upset G2. There's a shocking storyline in itself. Beat Astralis, who continued to struggle, and almost made it through to the semis against none other than Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, that was crazy from Optic. They're showing themselves to be like the giant slayers here. They've done it before at some tournaments. We thought, okay, it's a one-off. It's an interesting event from them, but they've proven themselves. They could be a world-class team going forward, especially with the addition of Tarek as well. They're looking very strong indeed, and I hope to see more from them in the future. Absolutely fantastic stuff from them. Well then, Matthew, I'm going to push you for prediction. I've come to give my thoughts on these maps, and I feel like I feel like this one will set a tone. I feel like if VP run them over here and take the tone for the grand final, I think it could be a 2-0.
Can I pull a Moses in North America and pander to the crowd?
How is that going to work?
All right, let's see, guys. If it's NaVi that's going to win, let me know, and I'll go with you guys. Come on, who's NaVi? And Virtus.Pro?
Okay. All right.
Well, if we said sixth man was a factor, the crowd's there. I don't think it's going to be easy for them, but I actually think Virtus.Pro, being as consistent as they have been, playing a formulated style of CS, actually can break down this individual NaVi we've seen. And we know that the individual skills there, they're a tactical team, but with the changes they've made, we haven't seen them be able to fall back on those tactics in the recent weeks, so there could still be something there. So Virtus.Pro, I think maybe 2-1 in this.
2-1?
It's tough. I think Cobblestone's theirs for the taking.
I think definitely. I think that's one of the most guaranteed of this grand final. If we do get to the third map, Mirage, I think that's going to be absolutely amazing. I think these 3 maps could be great. NaVi though need to, I don't think they're going to win Cobble, but they need to have a good game on it. They just can't get run over. They can't have that moral blow. We know they're a very emotional team, could be heavily affected by getting 16-2 to 16-3. Need to be posting a good game here and having like some convincing rounds going forward. We haven't seen that on Cobble so far, especially this tournament. It's looked very weak indeed.
And we're just about to get ready to roll.
Yep.
So CT side NaVi. T side Virtus.Pro, so we'll see it right away.
Right then. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've been amazing the last 3 days. It's grand final time, not as Spin but it's Virtus.Pro. To kick things off is going to be Cobble. Let's make some noise.
And like I said, we'll see it right away. NaVi's struggles have always been on the CT side of this map. Pistol round's going to be extremely important. They're known to only get roughly 5 rounds. And to start it off, Virtus.Pro, 4 players in toward the B tunnels. Taz just waiting, as they always do, typical Virtus.Pro, to see if there's going to be a push for information and a fast flank from the A tunnels. Simple and Flamey out toward long in a more aggressive position on the drop room. Edward boosted up So at least in the pistol, we're going to see some aggression in this spot right away, and it's very crucial.
No grenades purchased at all for Virtus.Pro or NaVi. This is going to be a pure brawl towards the B-bomb side, it seems as well. We can see Snacks above the drop-down room. There is a little boost going on from the CTs as well, which I think has just been cancelled. Oh, Edward has gone up. He's committed here. This frag is absolutely vital. If Virtus.Pro find it, they're going to capitalize and push straight in there.
And Bialy backing's going to spot it. Now watch the left, because if he pushes through, Snacks is there. It's a bait and switch. Bialy's hoping he'll go, but needs to be careful in the jump. Second one across. Edward, he's overstaying his welcome in this, but they're a little bit timid to try and find him. Second peek, finally he'll go down, but watch behind, because Virtus.Pro, Pasha and Bialy, they find kills on the other side as well. So now Simple's got to rotate back. They've got the split play. Bomb nearly gets caught in the door. Taking low, and it's going to get dropped down by his teammate, no less, as Bialy will catch Pasha. But it's a 2 versus 2. They're completely in the middle. The pincer goes the other way. The CT's on either side, and Flamey just needs to stay alive, but they get through the door before Guardian can act. And he's got to rotate all the way back around. As you said, no utility bot. There's no kits to work with. Immediately on the rock as well. It's going to be a dance with Snacks holding off as the flank comes in. First shot does go Guardian's way. Still on 68. He's got the HP advantage. Tags up on Bialy as well. 16! But the headshot goes the other way from the USP.
We said it would be a brawl in that pistol round. It certainly was there. Edward boosted up at the start. He spots 2 players. He thought he'd be falling back there. He goes down. The A-split comes in, and it seems as if a couple of early round nerves here. Simple not landing those simple shots towards middle at the top there. Actually in the side of the head on the bomber as well. Had he have landed that shot, that could have been the round over. But Virtus.Pro starting off with the A-split, falling back towards B, and Guardian did a good job to bring it down to the 1 versus 1, but couldn't finish it off. It's actually going to be Bialy finding 3 kills there. And Pasha to finish things off. It will be the 1-0 here. We have got a force buy from the CTs. 5-7s. Desert Eagles, 4 sets of Bonnie armor here. Guardian, obviously the AWP are going to be taking things a little more conservative, but look at the buy they've got here. 4 HE grenades. This can be a very effective strategy. Obviously it has to be timed to perfection. You can see a little 4-man stack towards that B side. They're hoping that Virtus.Pro commit, and it's going to be the airstrike at that point. You can actually take out 2 or 3 players and do a ton of damage to the others if it's timed well. I hope it does work out in that sense, because it is very exciting to watch when it's done properly.
So Pasha's going to be the first one in. Molotov ready to check the stairs first, rather than the arch. Smoke pre-lined up. Walk out into the corner. Crosshair already placed. Deployed, but it's all for a sail. And this is exactly it. They pulled the 4 players over from NaVi. These pistols on armor. They may elect to just sit back and hold on to these, having already given up the real estate. Seized will be caught in the middle of it as they split through from drop. 3 players coming up from inside of middle. Seized at 75. They've gotten deep inside the site, not yet found him though. That's going to drop bomb as well, so they get a chance out. This Guardian rotates. Bomb drop down is a problem. Metal by time. The rotates might be something they go for and considering having the armor, but through the vent, Neo will find Flamey. And it's down to just Edward and Simple. It's only a 1-man deficit, no less, for them, but bomb will quickly be scooped up, or will at Edward's position. He's gotten in behind. P250 goes immediately, doesn't elect to go for the discipline. And that'll leave him in the open and vulnerable, as Neo will get him back with the MAC-10. It's all down to Simple. As the bomb planted inside the site, Eagle trying to find the shot, reload in the open, Neo gets the kill.
Got a little bit scary there for Virtus.Pro. We saw NaVi at the start there. 4-man stack towards B. We were waiting for the HE grenade to connect. Unfortunately for them, Virtus.Pro is doing the default. Smoke towards the upper platform. Molotov in as well. Flashbangs over. It's enough to bait out those grenades. They hear them go off. They go back towards the A site. Fortunately for them, though, the CZ waiting for them. They get the first couple of kills. That's the CTs. And then Virtus.Pro sticking together, using the SMGs in their favor, and actually able to mow them down. So a few kills obtained from NaVi, but they're not actually equating to a round victory here. We're going to round number 3. It's going to be the full eco for NaVi. Just USPs and a PD1000 for Guardian. Nothing purchase whatsoever. So at this point, you want to be throwing in your SMGs first. Virtus.Pro, they've got the MAC-10, the UMP, getting that in there, farm some cash. It's going to be important going forward. And here's the execution towards B. The flashbangs are over. C's surely going to be going down straight away. There it is. Virtus.Pro get the first 2 kills. Simple finds the third, but there's not going to be too much to work with here. As Guardian, he's the last player remaining. He'll actually be towards the connector, so it will be a clean 3-0 for Virtus.Pro to open things up on Cobble. We said they were the heavy favourites going into this one, and with the force buy from NaVi in the second, means they'll be limited, heavily limited in that first gun run. I think Guardian can just about get an AWP. But still, a great start for Virtus.Pro here on this
Exactly that. Well, and we talked about it as well, the pistol being so important considering the struggles that NaVi commonly have on this map. So already we're going to see them deficit by 3. Momentum firmly in the favor of Virtus.Pro, but guns just to be drawn. Unfortunately, though, Guardian, they should actually be able, with 3 down, he'll be able to get the AWP out early.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the maps where Guardian's known. He has to be the one that carries them on the CT side. We say they normally only get about 5 rounds of it. Historically, he's the player getting it for them. He's the one moving around, finding the shots that are required and getting the opening picks. But the problem is Snax is always very proficient on this map. And here we go, in the first gun round coming in, round number 4. Guardian brings out the AWP. He has to step up here. Snax, he actually upgrades the UMP. I thought he was going to go for that bonus round mentality. Doesn't seem to be the case. He wants to go straight in here with the AWP himself. He's absolutely nuts on this map. It's kind of very hard to predict or analyze what he's going to do each round. He's a loose cannon in that sense. And Guardian, he'll be heading towards danger. And Snax is waiting for the initial aggression towards long A. So both the AWPers in quite a passive mentality. But the rest of the teammates for Virtus.Pro over towards those B horsemen now. They have utility to work with. No one particularly boosting up on the CT side. It's going to be a full default as they are flashed off of that upper platform.
And the aggression there from Simple. Guardian slowly backpedaling out toward long. He's just going to check the corner once more, but Edwards starting to consider the rotation, and not for the wrong reasons. Snax is waiting as well for Guardian to go for the peak, so I imagine there'll be a counter position to Guardian, knowing that they love, or he loves rather, to get aggressive.
The problem is for NaVi, look at them right now. No kits, no smokes, no incendiary. He's got a couple of flashbangs to work with here. If an execution comes in for Virtus.Pro, which they still have the potential to do, it's going to be incredibly difficult to actually hold them off. Guardian has to step up here.
This has the potential to be another split. 58 seconds, 3 over toward A. If they can find a kill here, Edwards going to push. He goes all the way through this. Flash in. He's managed to dodge it. Good kill, but it's traded back. Now they could rotate back toward that drop position. Bomb's still over toward B, though, so perhaps rotate through the smoke at mid-top door. The options are unlimited for Virtus.Pro, but they've got to start to make a decision soon at 42 seconds, and it is going to be the split back. That means cutting off rotations, but it means confronting Simple. It's only one. Pass is there for the trade, and Taz immediately back around the APC. Can't find the follow-up as Flamey will rotate with seized. He's got his back slightly turned, anticipating the arrival, but bomb planted in with a man advantage again for VP, and saving is even hard at this point in time with Taz still lurking in the shadows.
Well, no kits to work with, no nades. They're going to have to go for these kills, and Snax, he spots the player from drop down. That's going to be seized, and the final kill comes in. Pasha finds it. I said NaVi will be limited going into that situation. You could see them reacting, trying to get something going there. Edward, especially towards middle, he can feel the execution coming. He needs to find a frag. He tries to get it towards middle, but it's an equal exchange. NaVi use that as a cue. And at that point, they can't actually do anything about it. Virtus.Pro completely running over them. Guardian not finding a kill in the round either. So it's another eco for NaVi going forward. It's going to be Desert Eagles, CZ at 5-7. They've got 1 HE, but this is looking very comfortable for the Poles right now. A classic grand final performance so far. As we get into this one.
Encouraging as well, considering, good shot from Snax, catches Edward looking for the information, but encouraging from both these teams as well. When you consider in 5 weeks from now, we do it all again in a massive event at IEM Oakland, so another American soil event. 7 out of the 8 teams that are here. It's going to be huge, and everyone's put a best foot forward. Liquid again could get back into it, but right now, Virtus.Pro and NaVi, they want to show that they're ready for that as well. As Neo, slight tag getting to the top of middle. It's Flamey and Simple just remaining, but Bialy's crossed over with Bomb. Taz leading the charge as well to clear out toward the barrels, make sure there's no surprises. And Simple, well, he'll surprise Taz, but not Bialy. He's there immediately after, and Bomb will get planted as a result. They've covered off the wings. They know where Flamey is.
Hello.
But they don't know the Deagle's in his hands, and it's certainly deadly. So too is the Pokeball from Snax. And he'll get captured to make it 5-0 for Virtus.Pro.
So far, so good. Another couple of kills there for NaVi, but still yet to find that first round. Okay, then. The double AWP setup on Cobble can be very good indeed. Some teams are very proficient with this setup. NaVi, for me, aren't one of those teams. It seems that they force this every single time Simple can get the secondary AWP. As announced recently, he was taking over that role. I feel like they're taking that a bit too literally. It's not so much situational for them, especially on Cobble. They're doing it every single time. And we'll see whether he can step up and find something with this one. The first shot to fire in towards mid. Guardian's waiting for them, though. BP normally going to be smoking out that mid-connector area, but Snax, he finds the first kill. Simple drops once again. Aggressive, of course, towards that upper platform. He goes down. It's a 5-on-4, but a kill, good kill from Flamey coming in to return.
Flash in on Snax means he's got to relocate temporarily, but having gotten that trade kill against Simple, or the refrag rather, they can backpedal slightly. Edward again is going to be the one to try and get the information back over toward A in the lower mid. Similar situation, though, for NaVi this time as they put out utility early. They've got 1 Molotov left to work with. That is on Edward on the A site, so if they do go back to B, which it's increasingly looking like they will, as we see them heading that direction on the map, it could be a problem. So he's going to try and take advantage of a smoke. There's one in front of that, though, Snax, that he won't see. When this dissipates, he's got to spawn early. Does, but tagged back. Bialy finds it immediately. And this will give Snax more encouragement to go because the nose, the first player close up, is gone. So he's got the range with the AWP, and Guardian's the one he finds. Watch him toward KFC though, because Flamey, he peeks out, he goes late, or rather earlier than he would have expected, not trying to deny, catches off two with a headshot, drops bomb as well, and that's going to put Neo in a bit of a problem, because he's got to backpedal, and look already where Edward is positioned. He's got bomb in his sights, and he knows that's the magnet that Rick Neo needs to go that direction. He nearly hits it, nearly pulls it back, but not quite just yet, and now the rifle up close with only 20 HP. Neo's got to hit a money shot, and he's getting closer to it. Careful how you bait Neo! Unbelievable as Edward tries to bait it out, and he can't do so.
No way. Edward in a perfect position. Neo's 20 HP as well. He just can't deliver that one bullet. He just had to wait for the time to run out. He had to commit it after he walked out. He knows Neo's got the AWP and he can't find the retort. My God, NaVi can't get going in this first half. It will be 6-0. Neo, so good in these clutch situations. And looking at the buy for NaVi, 2 UMPs coming out, 5 sevens and Deagles, but they're a maximum loss bonus. They can keep the money around the 2K mark, so it's not so much a forced buy, it's a partial buy, of course. But sticking together, it's going to be Virtus.Pro towards mid. Flamey finds the first shot, but once again, it's traded. Very efficient in these situations. Virtus.Pro have been so far. And they'll be committing fully towards mid. There are 2 more CDs waiting for them, but still going to be dealt with relative ease. Guardian finds one in the back. He actually came in from danger there, so this could be a problem. Still a 3-on-2 in favor of Virtus.Pro.
Guardian looking to try and get back in toward that bomb as well. Taz, he's going to hold him off. It's Bialy's opportunity to try and grab it, but lost there. And what a shot from Simple. Guardian and Simple together. What a duo this is. What amount of skill they have, but not weapons. Weapons are what they lack, as Bialy does have the AK-46 HP bomb in his sights, but no information on exactly where the second player's gone, and they're going to play this together. They're going to try and double peek. They're not going to allow Bialy to get an easy shot onto the second one. No isolation. He's got the bomb in his possession, still 46 seconds, so he can afford to slow this down, and NaVi's got to go looking for it. They've got to get the information if that's been gathered. If it's been picked up, jump over, Guardian's revealed. It's going to leave him in the open, the double peek comes in, and he can't spray it down. Guardian does it. Good execution from NaVi.
Well, then they pick up their first round, and Virtus.Pro looked like they were doing a very good job there, sticking all their players towards middle and actually sticking together, refragging. The problem is they weren't really watching their flank. They had tunnel vision almost towards middle there. There's actually trying to trade those frags at the initial encounters, and then it was Guardian coming in from danger. He gets the attention from that point, and then Simple with a deagle in the back as well. They managed to find a round on the partial buy as well. Means money has been put into a very positive position going forward. The double AWP setup, like I said, every single time they can do it, they'll be bringing it out. Simple yet to really get going. The AWP, same story for Guardian, really, I have to say. As we go into this, Virtus.Pro, they've got an AWP themselves for Neo. He's just down to a Tech 9. 5 players towards the B side of the map. Presumably some sort of execution coming in here, going to be smoking over. The flashes coming in as well as the perfect way to shut down this double AWP setup. And here comes the final play.
Inside the smokes, Neo wants to go fast plant. Watch Simple's position. He won't be able to see the bomb though, and as he wide, he goes out, tries to spot them. It's Bialy that'll take him down. So bomb planted, AWP picked up, but NaVi's still the one getting the kills. Taz caught by Guardian. You shall not sneak by, and you shall not succeed in holding off the rotations. It's Snacks that has to do so, 1 versus 2, and Guardian still on that AWP. Snacks with the same weaponry, but a close position from Edward is going to force him, funnel him out, but he finds the shot. A lovely shot at that, and Guardian! And oh my God, Snacks, have you ever just stolen it from NaVi?
Absolutely godlike. Snacks delivers again. At 3 versus 1 and finish it off. I can't believe he even hit that shot on the bomb side there. There's nails, Guardian, and Edward once again in a 1v1. Can't deliver the goods when it's required. I don't think it's a hard reset just yet, but NaVi, they're going to have to take a pause here. They can't get anything going here. Every situation, it seems to be going against him. This time, once again, it's actually Simple on that B side. He's got that AWP set up at the back. He gets taken down to open things up again. I think they need to be concentrating on the crossfires here with the rifles. So then, NaVi going to the next round. Simple, $1,400. C's, $2,300. Guardian, not much more. So I think they're going to have to take some sort of eco here. But Virtus.Pro running away with this one in the first half.
They say it's a New York minute that makes everything change. Well, for Snacks, it was 2 quick shots. That was so incredible. And to be pushed out by Edward, who has the information, and still find it above the smoke, to hit Guardian, and then the presence of mind to immediately go for the peak. Not only that, the reset, as you've mentioned, NaVi, we know they struggle on the CT side, but those are the ones they need to win. You go back as well to the one-on-one, where Neo shuts them down. There's 3 very close rounds that they could have picked up. Money would be in a different situation. They would be the ones in control. And this game would give them a heck of a better chance than where they are right now, because this is turmoil. So the new rules, the new timeouts, 1 used, and I can't blame them at that point.
This is a force buy from NaVi coming in. Okay, then. The chips are down, Matthew, and they're all in. It's going to be Flamey at the M4. 2 UMPs, a CZ and a P250. I don't really fancy their chances here, but I said the Orcs were actually a little bit of a problem. Maybe they can actually deliver something here. With the SMGs, Flamey, he's had a phenomenal tournament so far and was dropping a 40 bomb earlier today. Let's see if we can find some form here as he runs on top of the tree towards B.
Quick boost on the off angle to try and catch C's pushing through. He has been boosted up with that smoke. So they are waiting correctly with this AK. But will patience prevail, or will impatience be impetuous? It's not going to be the case. This Pasha's going to take him down. C's jumping through. Dead before he touched the ground. Man advantage now for Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, the problem is now they've got 2 players towards the A side of the map. That's Guardian and Edward. They don't really have the weaponry or the utility to hold off a full execution here. That's exactly what's going to be coming in. The smokes, the flashbangs, the Molotovs, everything. Flamey in a horrible position. Luckily for him, though, the Molotov destined for him does get extinguished. As Virtus.Pro, though, they actually go back towards A. They've actually pulled 2 members over from the A-bomb side as well. It's just going to be for Edward here. He's got the UMP in hand and does find 2 kills. Somehow that UMP working out for him. But problem is, Snacks with the orb, still hitting all the shots required. It comes down to the 3-on-2. Flamey and Simple with 1 M4 between them to retake the bomb side.
And the bomb planted slightly off the wall. Does give them a bit more opportunity to cover it from the top of mid, let's say. Should that be an option? Should that be a possibility? And it will be with Snacks taking down Simple. That keeps the position in play, but Bialy's gone by the wayside as Flamey will push through. Nice nade in. And Flamey on 45, no kit. 1 versus 2, both players full HP, and they'll live that way. They'll survive. 3 kills for Snacks in the round and 8-1 for Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, NaVi at the start of the round trying to hunt for some information with that CZ. It gets taken down as a 5-on-4 pretty early into the round. Virtus.Pro don't need to fully commit at that stage. They've had lots of success towards that B side of the map. They go for the full execution, but it's a ruse. They don't commit. They just leave 1 player there, and the rest of them go back towards A, and it's perfect. It's only going to be Edward waiting for them with a UMP. Yes, he gets 2 kills, but it's not quite enough considering the weaponry of his teammates. We're going to round number 10. It's 8-1. Edward got the UMP once again. He found some extra cash, obviously, with those SMG kills in the last round. So what's the play as we go into round number 10? They don't really have much to work with here. USPs and 1 SMG. Edward is actually positioned towards long 8. That is a common tactic for Virtus.Pro, walking towards that area and sticking to as a unit, trying to refrag. But it looks like a B-sided attack once again. It's Simple. He's going to be jumping towards a broken wall area, seeing if he can get anything going with his USP.
Molotov's there as well. Offside, as you say. Neo finding 1 Mac-10 in toward danger. He's going to run directly by that, though. He thinks that his teammate's going in, is going to call for rotation already. It's going to leave Guardian in a position where he knows Neo's there. Simple's going to go back, but they can't really contest the site. It will be the round for Virtus.Pro, as they already have cleared out the B angles. Neo taking Guardian down, just C's remaining. He's in between Neo's position and the rest of Virtus.Pro planting bomb on the B site. So maybe just try and do some economic damage. If he can get a gun, it would be lovely, but that's not even going to be allowed. They're winning no battles as Pasha. He'll make it 9 now for VP. 15 kills for Snacks to lead the way. No one into the double digits yet on the NaVi side.
Well then, we're at a 3rd stage loss bonus for NaVi. Money's still not in a fantastic position. They need to start getting some rounds on the boards here. This time it will be the single AWP setup. I think that's all they can afford. It's going to be in the hands of Simple this time, interesting enough. You've got the world's best AWPer, Guardian. Simple is the secondary AWPer, but no one's really actually hitting any shots at the moment, to be fair. So what's the play here? Simple heading towards B once again, but VP, they're fast, of course. They're coming in. The flashes go over, and Snacks leading the charge looking for that first frag.
Oh, they knew exactly where he was before he could be positioned. It's going to take the EWP down. Snacks hits a second. The bullet was stopped by the AWP on the ground. It nearly cost the kill, but it's going to be pulled back. And how fast has Virtus.Pro walked into the B site? And when is NaVi? You go to this map, you were so good on it, you got victories, but when are they going to identify their CT problems? Because this is looking far too repetitive.
Well, they call them Virtus.Plow for a reason, and that B rush, my God, that round lasted about 15 seconds. I don't think that has been saw it coming at all. They set up for an execution coming in, and Virtus.Pro just run through the smokes. The Simple flashes come over as well. They just can't get anything. They're just hit by a bust at that point. It's going to be round number 12, another eco. This half is going very quickly indeed. They're bringing into round number 12. Deagles, 5-7s and CZ. Simple got some head armor for some reason. Doesn't really need it against the AKs, but I guess he's anticipating maybe a Mac-10 comes out in this scenario.
Snacks just missing Simple, who doesn't even do anything cheeky to try and get the peak, just goes for a straight run. He'll be pushed out now by the Flames. Wants to go for a closer position. Still trying to get a pre-aim up toward the top of the box. Once the Flames going back to the same position as well.
Let's discuss what NaVi can actually do here to get back into this game. So far, the AWP has been primarily focused towards the B side of the map. I feel like 4 rifles on B, get Guardian on the A side with the AWP by himself, allow him to be the anchor, find that first pick, call for rotations, and then the rifles just have some crossfires going. But here we go then, C's. He's trying to make something happen with the CZ. Only gets 1 kill though. Maybe it's enough to get something going here. But it looks like Virtus.Pro will be committing. All 4 players have got remaining towards the safe side. There are CT presence though towards the map, so maybe I can do something with this.
Caught in the open though, Flamey goes down. Edward tries with an eagle to find another. Pasha's on the case. Guardian gets 1. And when was the last time in the kill feed you saw 2 blue kills in a row? It's been a while. Everything seems to be answered from Virtus.Pro. It's time and time again, the NaVi get 1. It's immediately traded. They're being very effective on their entries. Very low HP for Bialy on 4 right now. Is Simple. He's got himself in a position to try and spot this, but taken down from below as Pasha sneaks back in with the AK. It's all 1s on the scoreboard, but it's 1-11. Virtus.Pro well and truly in the lead and in command of this game.
Yeah, let's have some real talk for a moment, Matthew. The only round that NaVi have won so far was a mixed buy of UMPs and Deagles. They are yet to really get anywhere with the guns at all. We go into this one, we'll have a look at the buy coming in. Double AWP set up again. They seem to be forcing that every single opportunity. It's certainly a viable setup, don't get me wrong. It's just you bring it out when you feel like it's required, when you see an exploit there in the terrorist setup, whether they're doing lots of these rushes or they're playing a simple default game, that's when it makes sense. So far for me, it's just not the right call for now. We'll see whether they can get anything going with it. Simple this time, he's been moved towards the A side. Has Guardian gone towards B? Okay. We'll see whether Simple towards the top and middle can actually find his first shot. He's in a more passive position this time.
These ops, they need to find something. NaVi needs a sustainable opening. They need to find a kill that's not traded for once and be able to fall back and control the choke points and make Virtus.Pro have to work to find kills.
Well, Neo by himself towards the A side of the map. He's actually cleared out long A and danger as well. A lot of information obtained, and his teammates now still grouping towards B. I'd say an A split is definitely a possibility. You can see Edward on the minimap right now, hunting for a bit of information. He possibly will check out danger in a moment, but this could be the first encounter. This frag could be very important indeed if he decides to commit.
Already the utility expended onto the B site. Neo again going to try and lock down the rotation. Simple's going to evade him, but Neo does get Edward, so Simple immediately wraps back. He's not even going. He knows the timing. He's gone as well. He's not there. The rotations are not there for NaVi. Simple, he could have hightailed it immediately over to the site and at least tried to contest for the retake before the bomb went down. Doesn't happen. Neo finds him, and Edward seized is now between a rock and a hard place, and well, I'd call it almost hell at this point in time because it's going to be 12 rounds for Virtus.Pro and NaVi's got nothing. Absolutely flat.
They're definitely flat. This is not worthy of the grand final as of yet. NaVi just looks so poor here. Just out of their depth, at least on Cobble for now, and just can't get anything going at all. I think at this stage, they just need to be force buying into every round. That's a serious problem. It's round number 14. You need money to beat a team like Virtus.Pro, and considering the form they're in right now as well, that is picking them apart. We said that key frag towards middle there. Edward had to go hunting once again. They had no information to work with. He gets taken by Neo, and you can see that he's had no idea what was going on towards that B side. No one's hitting any shots. No one's actually making anything happen for the CTs. Round number 14, 3 Famous as a Deagle and UMP. I'm not having much faith for it, but I did say before, the only round they have won so far is on one of these horrible force buys. Maybe they can replicate that form.
So a 2-man position to ward long to counter off any aggressive pushes from Virtus.Pro, but they'll slow down a little bit. They've been altering the pace, which is good as well, because you talk about not having much utility on the NaVi side. It's not even that they don't have much, it's that they don't even know when to use it when they do, because the pace is so different. If you know a team's playing slow, you can try and save it so you can counter their push at the end. If they're playing fast, you get it out early. But this adulation of play is really costing them, and Simple's going to at least find one headshot, but again, it's traded. And again, Blue shows up, Guardian goes down, Simple. They've all fallen. It's VP that does find immediate trades to make it 3 versus 3, but Neo needs to win the kill at drop wheel. Guardian's gonna fall. It's gonna be a lineup. Flamey this time, the one to trade, but he's gone. Snacks back and forth again. It's a teeter-totter seesaw, but it's gonna be Edward inside of the site, and he'll go down to Bialy. Even when there's a sniff of a chance, they snap it away.
So many rounds in a row for Virtus.Pro here. Once again, the force buy not working out for NaVi, just getting shut down in every duel. Snacks just doesn't seem to be missing a beat right now. He's actually hit 20 kills. To do that in first half, that's like pretty godlike. That's as good as he gets. Once again, NaVi with a double AWP setup. I'm not sure why they wouldn't adjust it at all. Like I said, the 4 rifles go for it as a default crossfire situation, allow Virtus.Pro to commit before you actually try to challenge them, but Here we go then. It's going to be the final round of the first half. It goes without saying, NaVi need this to even stand a chance going into the second. This CD half, this has been horrible for them. It's going to be a UMP and a Famous, and Guardian and Simple once again to try and find picks, but Simple is towards Chicken Coop this time. Guardian's towards the A site, and he will be challenged as all 5 members actually from Virtus.Pro are actually going to be committing to this side.
Even when they've had the up, we haven't even seen the flashy plays from Guardian
go.
to get things started. Finally, 2 kills to the trade of and the tune of 1. Now they're getting rolling. Guardian's the one who started off. He tags up another Simple, will close it. He'll fall in the end to Pasha. As maybe, just maybe, they'll get their second round, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Pasha's only got 4 HP, and surely Flamey's going to close it 13-2. A shocking opening half. And Guardian's the one who normally carries them to success on the CT side, but again, never really got things rolling. Finally hit some in that round, but Virtus.Pro's in command.
We speculated this could be a problem. Cobble being the opening map of this grand final. You could see they were heavily affected by it. Nothing really going for NaVi whatsoever. Matthew, I'm not sure they can bounce back, but I'm sure we will find out in the second half. Whether they've got anything left in the tank here. It's looked very convincing so far, but we'll take a very quick break before we come back with the second half.
Well, it's been all Virtus.Pro, but there is something to think about. This round, Neo ends the win a 1v1 with a win. Snacks, a crazy round that comes down to a 2 versus 1. He picks it up. There was chances for NaVi to get into this, but towards the end, they just fell out of contention completely. And 13-2 in the first map of the grand finals.
So many big rounds there. Neo clutching, like you said. Snacks with some phenomenal performances in round after round. And you can see it affected NaVi. We say they're an emotional team, just couldn't seem to recover after that initial deficit. It's got nothing going. The only real gun rounds they won was that pistol round, well, the Deagle round and UMPs, and then towards the end as well. They do manage to get 2 rounds. If they win the pistol, Matthew, maybe this could be something to be said, but so far, I'm not really believing. They need this pistol, and they need a clean 3-0 after that. If they do lose the pistol, I hate to say it, it is going to be game over, and we'll be moving on to train, but it's never as simple as that, is it?
Certainly not, especially not Simple when Simple's in the server, because we know he can go off.
Well,
I did say coming into this as well, it's the first time we're really going to see them on a stage with him in the new role where they've been struggling a little bit. I thought maybe his personality, this is where we'll see if he's truly going to respect them. But so far he's been well behaved in this team. Now we're going to see him really tested in a situation like this.
The buy comes in. NaVi going to be going with 3 sets of armor. A raid boss in the form of Flamey. And maybe there's a straight up B rush. All 5 players committing to the upper platform here. Let's go.
Pasha immediately taken down. Guardian's got the start required for NaVi, but Bialy pops out late. Second headshot potentially there. Ooh, Guardian does damage. But he comes out worse for wear in the end. Neo gone. Guardian wraps back around. Then it's going to be Bialy down in the end to just Snacks. Does find one.
Oh, no.
Let's not leave him out of this. The Big Apple, and Snacks is hungry. He's got 1 kill already on the USP. Low HP as well on Guardian and Flamey. He's trying to bait them out, trying to get them into one-on-ones as he dances back and forth between the box. What a shot on Simple! Oh, Guardian, bye-bye! And it's on to Flamey. He's tapped it. Flamey's got a big... What in God's name is that from Snacks? Unbelievable!
I've never seen anything like it. What the hell was that? That's sickest pistol clutches I've ever seen in the entirety of CSGO. Grand finals time, and Snax pulls this off. What the hell?
They can't even believe it. Their heads are on their foreheads.
Get wrecked.
We said NaVi might have got momentum. That's gone. What an unbelievable pistol round.
My God, I didn't think there was any chance of that happening. I thought, okay, we'll get a couple of kills here and there. It'll be quite exciting. But I never thought that'd be happening, of course. Now they have to force by after that one. Okay, well, they do find the opening kill. Let's get back into this one. Let's get back to the real world. 5-on-4, and it's SMGs across the board for VP. There's something maybe to work with here for NaVi. My God.
Seized is going to catch them. Already down drop. Neo gone. So at least NaVi gets something to start this off on the force buy. Flamey wrapping around. He's going to do some damage. It's Guardian. Instead, they got the kill on Bialing. Interestingly enough, it looked from our perspective as though it was both that did damage, but Pass just got the bomb back as Guardian gets found at the top of the ramp. 1 versus 2 for him. He's got the headshot finally. Simple's going to get there with the AK. This is getting close, and the force buy pays off. They desperately needed that.
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't really have much of a choice that the bomb was planted, obviously, but when they allowed Virtus.Pro to pick up that pistol, they couldn't let them go to match point straight away, so they had to force. They pulled out the AKs and Deagles, and it did work out for them. So we're finding that first frag, and maybe we're able to string a couple of rounds together here, but still, we should be able to calm down for a little bit. It's interesting that VP would force into this themselves, to just allow the bankroll to build up, potentially actually just finish things off in the gun rounds, but they want to answer straight back here. Send out a message potentially as we get into this one. It will be 4 rifles for NaVi, another B rush, why not? But Pash is waiting for them. Going to be flashed off for now, but he gets the first kill.
Simple's there to respond though. Bialy drops. A little bit of confusion amidst all the utility that's been deployed inside of the site, flashbangs included. It's going to be Seized that tries to slip in undetected as a result, but the smoke still conceal his entry from the archway. Taz has found one. His Flaming will fall, and there's the answer from Seized as he just waits patiently. Snax walks into it. Simple follow it up, but hold on, it's not done just yet. Low HP. Taz has picked up another kill. Bomb's in the open. They've got to cross to grab it, and that means Simple doing so with 8 HP, though. He can't afford to go. AK picked up. Taz, is he going to pull this back as well? He is! Virtus.Pro is getting every single clutch, and it's map point already.
You can see the look on his face. He can't believe it. Every single situation they're in, they're delivering. That was an eco. Seized can't even believe it. He's just laughing. He's out. He's done.
I guess at this point, as you would say, Henry G, if you don't laugh, you're going to cry.
Yeah,
and they've got to brush this game off really fast.
I've never seen a game like this, these sort of rounds. You see a couple sometimes, but not like 6 or 7.
Well, that's the thing. There's 6 or 7 rounds that could have gone the other way to start off the half. Momentum changes middle of the first half when if they had to get the string of 3. In an alternate universe, somewhere NaVi's winning this game, but that is far, far away from where we are right now.
Indeed. Well, it's 15-3. Of course, they have the force buy. It's match point now. Virtus.Pro, they have got 4 rifles this time to battle the force buy. So that's the first frag coming in. I think this one might be done. And Snax finds the first kill. It's towards Edward as well. Guardian isolated towards middle. They know he's here. The grenades are raining, and they're looking to find his second frag. Seized drops. I think it's over, Matthew. But Guardian does find something to work with here. 3 versus 1. It's done. 16-3. One of the most convincing opening maps for a grand final I've ever seen. Snax is on point. Neo's on point. Taz is delivering. NaVi just got completely destroyed in the first map here.
And we knew Cobble would be a challenge for them. We said as well, the well-oiled machine, the Virtus.Pro, is the systematic breakdown of individualism. And NaVi, they never got rolling individually. And unfortunately, they just didn't have the time after the first half to even get a chance to show if they had tactics on the T side. Rotations as well were off. Every single lurk play on A during a fake or just to cut off rotations worked. VP found all the kills required.
Some of those rounds, I've never seen anything like it. Let's just talk about that pistol for a second. Snax, what? Was it 3 versus 1?
4 versus 1.
4 versus 1, okay.
Bomb down as well.
They know exactly where he is. The bomb's down. He's got to kill 4 people and defuse. And somehow he hit some of the sickest shots I've ever seen. That was incredible. And that wasn't even the tip of the iceberg in terms of the clutches. It just kept happening time and time again. But that one, for me, that's going to stand out for quite a long time.
And when you consider they played 104 rounds in the semifinal against SK to finally triumphantly beat them, to take them down after being the only team to take a map at the last 2 majors from them. This one only took 19 rounds.
Yep.
So maybe that warm-up is true. I mean, I agree with what you were saying. It's hard mentally to prepare after playing that many rounds. It's hard to reset, get back into it, find the mental fortitude. Just the fatigue is very prominent at that point in time. And for them to do this, maybe the break was too long for NaVi is the argument you can make. I'm not sure because they look asleep so far. They're going to have to wake it up and turn this around as we move forward. And the duels, the firepower, all in the favor of VP.
Well then, we do move on to train FMAC, and I guess that's going to be interesting. Now they're going to have to pick themselves up, dust themselves down. Let's see what the desk got to say about that first map. I'm sure there's a lot to talk about.
So much to be talking about. Great there from Henry G and Sadakist. And man, oh man, Duncan, Yanko. I don't think anybody here at the desk, or even maybe in the crowd, was anticipating a result like that. Duncan, first of all, 16-3.
Yep.
16-3.
Other lovers forgot about Plow. No, that was classic VP. And here's the thing, okay? You got to give NaVi a little break, okay? Remember, this was like the VP pick. And secondly, NaVi did choose to go CT side because that was in theory their best chance, right? If they'd have gotten like a nice little pistol run going, they get to guns, they get their double op set up. Okay, this is actually their chance to win the game. And they had to do that anyway because you've noticed they're not like a really great comeback team in contrast to VP. Problem is, VP came right out and played probably the best T-side we've seen the whole tournament.
And it was given to them. Let's not forget, NaVi chose to start on the CT side, and you mentioned pistols. There was one pistol moment that we most definitely will not forget. In the words of Sadakist, it was ungodly. I'm sure we can show you that at some point, just to reflect upon how just mad some of the plays made. And it was a grand final performance from VP. Absurd. Yanko, you chose a moment in particular as well, so we'll start talking.
Yes, I think we at the desk in general, I think the term Virtus.Pro is becoming a bit overused, but this map...
It's good when I said it,
this map really is the definition of it, right? So we had these clutches as well, but what I also had pointed out, I'm not sure if we actually have it cut. These are both insane, and this is actually the reset round. So there was a round where you could see, as an example, Snacks was having a smoke to throw to connector from team mid. He throws that smoke, and as the smoke is flying, the rest of the VP players are actually, that's when they push mid. So by the time they get to the point where someone from connector sees them, that's the point where the smoke actually timings are so good that they throw their nades and they understand that there is flying time in CSGO and in maps like Cobblestone especially. So they keep running in and flashing in, and then the smokes just pop, but they're already on their way. So you're constantly, it's like a blitz attack, right?
I want to see this.
It's really hard to deal with it. I'd like it too, Alex, but
maybe
you can't get everything that you want.
Hey, if you requested it, maybe we can bring it up. But so basically, it was is this it? Is this what you were asking?
Yeah, this is one. So you can see, like, you can just play it out. So Snacks throws the smoke, but they're already throwing flashes towards mid. He flashes for his teammates. Even though Edward gets one kill, he gets traded. That's the second thing that VP is probably one of the best teams in the world at. When they're on fire like this, even the best team, they're so good at trading kills. And that allows them to just, as I said, blitz their way in. They're really fast going into the bomb site because they understand if you slow it down right there, you get bogged down. It gives enough time for the CTs to rotate in. But you combine that with those amazing individual clutches from their players, and NaVi just, they couldn't do anything. So I think, and I think you'll agree with me, Duncan, this is actually the best thing that could happen to NaVi is to lose like this on Cobble, because if VP continues playing like this, it doesn't matter which team they're playing against and on which map, they will run over everyone.
And Train is next. We're going to have an opportunity to talk about that after our break. And there's so much more to be discussed as well. The discussion surrounding fatigue, just surrounding NaVi, of course, having quite the break before they're coming in here to the grand final. They, of course, were dancing and boogieing to Cruella, among other things. So we are going to take ourselves a short break. Before we do go, a couple of reminders about how this event did come about. One of which is, of course, the Score Esports application. It's enabling you to keep track of everything that's going down. You've heard me talk about it many a time, and I'm not going to stop right now. It's, of course, available on your phone, and you know exactly what it does. It enables you to keep track of events like this, especially when there's so much esports going on simultaneously. Keep your eyes on Worlds. Keep your eyes on ESL One New York. All in the palm of your hand. So go ahead and grab that, and you can see just how well VP played right here, right now. Replays, or rather, you can see some of the highest moments as well over on the app. And alongside that, Windows 10. These guys did enable us to make this event happen, so a big thank you to them, the operating system that's been most recently released from Microsoft. Right, we're going to take a break. When we do come back, we'll be talking about our second map and whether we'll even see a third. It's absurd. We'll be seeing you after the break.